In this lesson, we'll be learning how to name notes and how to locate them on the stave. So as to be able to name the notes on the stave, we need to understand the musical alphabet. We all know the phonic alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, V, W, X, Y, Z, but the musical alphabet is different. And what happens is, we start with A, then move to B, C, D, E, F, G, and that's it. There's no H, there's no I, there is no X, there is no Z. What happens is, after G, we go back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and so on. Now, some of my students ask me, how many times do we keep doing this? How many times does the alphabet recur and go back to A? Which actually is a very good question, but it depends, the answer to the question depends on your instrument. An instrument like the piano, that recurrence will happen something like 7 times. The guitar, for instance, which starts on E, the musical alphabet will recur 3 times. What we need to remember with all of this is that all of these letters are next door to each other. D is next door to E, F is next door to G, and G is next door to A. Having established that the letters of the musical alphabet are next door to each other, if we want to place notes next door to each other on the stave, it's done like this. We start with the note on the first line, and then to go to the note next door, we go to the next space. The note next door to that is on the next line, and the note next door to that is on the next space, and so it goes on. Line, space, line, space, line, until we've got a note on all of the lines and all of the spaces. These notes are all next door to each other, but for reasons that we explained previously, we can't name these notes because we haven't got a treble clef. So here we go. Here's our treble clef, and once that is in place, we can now name the notes. The first note is E. Next door, we're going to find F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Of course, these are not the only notes that we use. There are notes above this F note, and there are notes below this E note. But to locate these notes, we need to use what are called leisure lines, and that's for another lesson. For this lesson, we're going to be looking at the notes as they appear on the stave, that's to say, the notes as they appear on the 5 lines and the 4 spaces. First of all, we need to look at notes on the lines. And so, drawing the treble clef to begin with, here's the note on the first line, the second line, third line, fourth line, and fifth line. And from the diagram above, we can see that we've got E, G, B, D, and F. What may seem very familiar to many is using the following words. Every good boy deserves. Will I get it in? In my day it used to be favour. Today it's hard to get away from football. And so, starting from the bottom going up, we can locate the names of the notes on the lines by using every good boy deserves football. The idea is that if students can remember the phrase every good boy deserves football, and if they can remember to start from the bottom going up, we should be able to name any note that occurs on the line. And we'll see if I can demonstrate that. If we take the note here, we would say every good boy deserves football. The note falls on the word deserves, so the note is D. If I take this note on the second line, every good boy deserves football. The note falls on the word good, so the note is G. If we have a note on this line, every good boy deserves football. The note falls on the word football, so we have F, E for every, and B for every good boy. Now we need to look at the notes on the spaces. And again, starting with the treble clef, I'm going to draw a note on the first space, the second space, the third space, and the fourth space. F, A, C, E. It spells the word face, and that is how we might remember it. It's also worth noting that the word face rhymes with the word space, so it helps us to remember that when we're dealing with the spaces, we use the word face, F-A-C-E. And the process is the same. If I place a note here, starting from the bottom going up, F, A, C, E, and the note is C. If I place a note here, F, A, C, E, the note is F. If I place a note here on this space, F, A, C, E, the note is E. And here, F, A, C, E, the note is A. Students should now be confident in naming notes both on the lines and in the spaces.